Most people would file for bankruptcy or just to give up over the debt I'm going to eliminate very quickly here. But what if I told you that just $500 a month could actually wipe it out without a raise, without a side hustle, and without panic? We're not just talking magic, we're talking method. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how we're doing it and how you can too. Let's dive in. So as is our custom, we want to go ahead and show you what's going on here. We got to give a shout out to Tyson for sharing the numbers. We really appreciate that. These are real numbers, folks. Let's go ahead and go through it. All right. We have $320,000 at 7%. $2,129 a month on this big mortgage here, okay? Of course, this number here is getting divided up. We're going to get into that later. Then we have the car loan of $80,000 at 5.29%, $1,200 each and every month. So the first thing we have to do here is label out our debts, okay? Now we're going to go ahead and go over here where we're going to discuss the income. What are we working with, okay? $5,500 a month, expenses $5,000 a month, and the cash flow is $500 a month. Now that's going to be very important because we're going to use that cash flow to get rid of these gargantuan debts. How are we going to do it? Let me show you. First of all, we diagnose the drain. We've got to diagnose the drain. Which one is the most cash flow sucking loan? That's all we do in the first step. Why? Because we need to make sure that we are getting the cash flow out of that cash flow sucking loan as fast as possible. Here we've already done the calculation for you. Balance divided by the minimum monthly payment is going to give you your cash flow indicator. The cash flow indicator lets us know whether a loan is efficient or inefficient, okay, not efficient. And of course, this one is a 67, so it's not in the danger zone, but it is in the caution zone, okay? Remember, 0 to 50 is the danger zone, 51 to 99 is the caution zone, 100 and up, that's the freedom zone. Now, why does that make a difference? Well, when you are in the caution zone, you don't necessarily have to, if you have other loans, you don't necessarily have to pay this one off very quickly, right? You can actually talk to the car dealership or to finance and say, hey, can I get this interest rate lowered? Can I do something to increase my cash flow? Because folks, just taking a break here, did you know that there's more to life than paying off debt? Did you know that you could actually, with these numbers, make sure that you're getting passive income, right? If you have a line of credit, you can turn that, let's say $10,000 into $340 a month. Just let me know if you're interested in that in the comments below, okay? We do have that method. But look, $80,000 at 5.29%. Let's go ahead and see if we can get some cash flow out of it. Tyson was like, listen, I want to get rid of this debt, okay? So this is what we're going to do. We're then going to redirect this cash flow. Now, I know what we were taught. We were taught, hey, let's go ahead and make sure we save up, right? You were taught to save, but what has that gotten you, okay? Let's use this money for us instead of just the banks. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make sure that this $500, let me draw an arrow here, is going to the principal. Now, this is the cash flow that we already have. We're going to make sure that this smashes the principal, but not in any old way. All right? We're going to make sure that we split the payment up, okay, of the extra cash flow into 250 and 250. What that does is it interrupts the interest rate. Go ahead and write that down. It interrupts the interest rate, okay? And it actually pays off the loan much faster than if you were to pay monthly. Why is that? Because when you're paying monthly, you got the 12 months, right? 12 payments a year. But when you pay bi-weekly, you've got 26 payments, which equals 13 months. And that matters, doesn't it? Especially when you are focusing on the principal, which we are focusing on the principal right here. So your first loan that you're going to be paying off is the $80,000. This is where you're going to focus the $500. We don't want to divide it up and start paying extra on the mortgage just yet. We want to make sure that the $500, right, is getting to this monthly payment, okay? $1,700. But we are splitting it up. We're splitting the $500 up into $250 and $250 because we're going to transform that monthly extra payment into bi-weekly extra payments. CJ, what is that going to do? So what that's going to do is it's actually going to get you out of this loan in 3.8 years. So in approximately 4 years, not 7, okay, you will be out of this loan. Why? Because you chose to use the cash flow that you have wisely. That's how, okay? So we're adding, right, 500 plus the 1,200, that's 1,700, but it's not going willy-nilly. We are dividing the $250 up, the $500 up in the $250 payments bi-weekly. And that's how we're getting rid of this debt very fast and capturing the interest. But not only that, we're capturing this cash flow in about 4 years. All right. And so now what do we want to do? We want to optimize the system. That's the step we're on now. Remember, number 1 was diagnosing the drain, okay, putting it through the cash flow indicator method. Number 2 was, that's right, redirecting the flow. Instead of the useless bank account where your money is getting devalued, let's go ahead and make it work for us so that we can capture this $1,200 a month. And now we're going to optimize the system. At this point, you've got a choice. If you've got a $10,000 line of credit, of course, you can chunk this payment, $12,000, $15,000, and you know how to do that using your line of credit as your new checking account. Because remember what's going through it. Your income is going through your line of credit. Your expenses is going through your line of credit, and your line of credit is getting paid, right, the $500, or in this case, after we're done in the 4 years, the $1,700 each and every month. And oh, by the way, don't the lenders like it when they see big payments coming towards their line of credit? Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and focus. Since this person, Tyson, wanted their mortgage paid off very quickly, let's go ahead and do it. So 4 years for this. All right. Let's go ahead and take the $1,700 that we have right now, because we now have the $1,200. Can we just go ahead and do this? Okay. And 500 at $1,700 per month. Now, what are we going to do with this extra $1,700 a month? Are we going to put that extra towards that each month towards the mortgage, or are we going to interrupt the interest rate even more by inserting $850 bi-weekly payments, okay? So as we insert those $850 bi-weekly payments, what's going to happen to this mortgage is it's going to have more and more of the money going towards principal and less going towards the interest. We call that the final step, which is push the gap. We want the gap pushed as far as possible away from the interest and the principal. And you'll see the interest and the principal do this. So instead of, this is my left hand. So instead of the interest rate being all high and your principal being low, now you're going to be starting to see a shift going where the interest is going to be going lower and the principal will be going higher. All right. So that means if you continue on with paying that $1,700, remember an $850, those bi-weekly payments, $850 plus $850 is $1,700. We're not doing the monthly payments, but bi-weekly, because you can actually pay it off faster because of the timing and the frequency. I told you that time had a lot to do with paying off your loans, with eliminating debt very quickly, all right? And this is how you get time and money to work for you, okay? So let's go ahead and do it. $1,700 a month. We've got the $2,129 that we're already paying. That $1,700 is that extra payment. We're not paying the $1,700 a month, right? We are going to split it up, $850 plus $850, because we're doing bi-weekly payments, and we're going to hammer the principal, okay? We're hammering the principal. How long do you think? This is powerful. How long do you think you're going to be in that mortgage as you're doing it like this? Folks, in about 8 years, you'll be out of the mortgage. Oh, and by the way, they wanted you to pay $445,000 in extra interest, in interest alone. Over $445,000 in interest alone over 30 years. And because you took the money that you already had, right? The cash flow that you already had wasn't doing barely anything. You've paid it off in 8 years. What is 4 plus 8? Folks, you just paid off $400,000 in 12 years. Without getting a new job, second job, a third job, without any side hustles. Would they help? Absolutely. And without any worry or panic. Now, folks, I got to give you, and I want to go ahead and get out of your way so you can copy this down, but I want to give you some information that I haven't shared with you before, and that is, loans aren't bad. Loans are bad when they suck money from you. This $1,200 should be going to you, not anyone else. Can I share with you that we just connected with a tried and proven company that I should have been connected with years ago. But that's okay, right? Because now we've connected with them. And you've heard of the debt income snowball. Well, the debt snowball, now we know about an income snowball, all right? Where these debts, remember I had that word debt up there, can actually become leverage. Let's say you had a $10,000. Let's just use that $10,000. And you were able to pay it off in 6.5 months, all right? What if I told you that $10,000 could yield you $340 each and every month? And oh, by the way, when you are done paying off your $10,000 in 6.5 months, you can deploy another $10,000 to get another $340 a month. And you can just keep doing it and doing it and doing it to the point where, do you see this income right here? That's earned income. That's earned income. But now you can transform it into passive income. Passive income is where you're watching the computer and your investments, perhaps 2 hours a month, looking at them. And you're no longer going perhaps to a place that you don't want to go to. And so I just wanted to drop that in there. Folks, if you have any questions, any concerns, my book is out now, The Power of Velocity Banking. We actually go through several scenarios so that you and your family can not only eat, but eat well, right? You can live rich now because we show you how to use cash flow in the most optimal way. All right. So if you need any help on that, if you need to know, if you need to have another video on where to get the cash flow at, let's go ahead and get that video right there. How do I get out of this loan? How do I get out of that loan? That video right there, folks. God bless you, and we'll see you in another video.